European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced the EU's widespread support for Armenia during her visit to Yerevan on Thursday. In a strategic tour of the South Caucasus, she unveiled a series of rare economic measures to help the country withstand growing Russian pressure stemming from its cautious pro-West pivot.
I know Armenia is still facing significant economic pressure from Russia. Nothing short of economic coercion, actually. But rest assured, when pressure mounts on our partners, the European Union steps up. And I have some announcements here too. First, you will soon receive an additional 18 million euros to help strengthen and diversify your trade.
The measures would allow Armenia to redirect nearly 80% of Armenian exports to the EU, making them tariff-free.
Մյուս կողմից մենք ինչպես հայտարարել ենք, մենք խնդիր երբեք չենք դրել, չունենք եւ չենք դնի ճգնաժամ ստեղծել Հայաստանի Հանրապետության եւ Ռուսաստանի Դաշնության հարաբերություններում։ Մենք գործում ենք մեր երկրի շահերի շրջանակներում եւ բնականաբար մենք ոչ մի միջազգային մեր գործընկերոջ շահերը չենք արհամարում, բայց մյուս կողմից որևէ այլ գործընկերոջ շահերը չենք կարող ավելի բարձր դասել, քան Հայաստանի Հանրապետության շահերը եւ սա կարծում եմ տրամաբանական է ցանկացած երկրի համար։
Pashinyan announced during the visit that Armenia aims to obtain visa liberalization with the EU by 2029, depending on the country's pace of reforms.
EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas announced that new sanctions targeting Russia's military-industrial complex will be presented on Thursday after Russian forces launched massive overnight strikes on Kiev, killing at least 20 people and wounding dozens. Today, I will propose to sanction more entities supporting Russia's military-industrial complex in response to the strikes, Kallas wrote on X. The more Moscow attacks civilians, the more sanctions must be imposed. We keep raising the cost until Russia understands it cannot win. The new listings will not be included in the 21st sanctions package, which is currently under discussion among European governments and is expected to be adopted by mid-July in order to avoid automatic renewal clauses. The proposed sanctions target 5 entities and 1 individual involved in developing and producing components that enhance the capabilities of Russian drones, Euronews can confirm. The listings were shared with EU ambassadors on Thursday. The next discussions is expected next week.
After 6 weeks of training in Lithuania, the German Army's Freedom Shield exercise has come to an end. But before the soldiers head home, Lithuanian student Camille gets to enjoy one final highlight.
Und da wird der Turm gesteuert, ferngesteuert.
A ride in a tank across the training ground. Camille is here after winning a Lithuanian Ministry of Defense essay competition on NATO and hybrid threats.
Meine Idee war es, dass die jungen Menschen, also wie gesagt auf Social Media, können die halt Informationen nachgucken. Also man kann nachgucken, ob die richtig sind oder vielleicht auch falsche Desinformationen sind. Und ich finde, dieses kritische Denken könnte uns dann auch sehr helfen.
Camille climbs inside the Puma tank, but our camera has to stay outside. The vehicle's interior contains sensitive details that could be of interest to potential adversaries of the German armed forces. Back outside, she shares her impressions of the Puma.
Ehrlich gesagt dachte ich, dass es irgendwie mehr Platz da drin sein würde und es ist sehr eng. Da sind auch sehr viele kleine Geräte, so auch Knöpfe und auch diese Lenkungen, das sieht aus wie so wie eine Playstation-Konsole. Ja, also es ist sehr aufregend.
This year marked the 8th edition of the essay competition, with a record 400 entries. Security in the Baltic states is clearly on the students' minds, and even if you don't win the prize, you can still book a tank ride in Lithuania yourself.
The entry-exit system, the digital system for checking non-EU travelers' documents, is creating bottlenecks just as the peak of the holiday season approaches. Associations representing airlines and airports asked to suspend the EES in July and August when needed. The European Commission said it would be meeting representatives of the industry in the coming days.
All efforts are being made to limit the impact on travellers from outside the EU. In most EU airports, this impact is indeed limited, and where member states are not able to ensure that the necessary operational capacity is in place, that means include sufficient numbers of border guards, appropriate infrastructure, and automated border control solutions, the Commission continues to support them and as well the aviation industry in the implementation of the new system.
The EES, which became fully operational in April, is now in force at land, sea and air external borders of all 29 countries in the free travel Schengen area. It is gradually replacing passport stamps with a digital system for short stays, meaning a period of up to 90 days within any 180 days. Travelers' biometric information such as facial images and fingerprints, along with personal data from travel documents, are now collected. This system is meant to make border checks faster and to obstruct irregular migration. The reform resulted in airports and airlines experiencing operational disruption with flight delays and missed connections.
Fresh employment figures released on Thursday expose a diverging trajectory for the world's most prominent advanced economies, as severe hiring slowdowns in the US contrast with historic resilience in European labor markets. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, non-farm payrolls increased by a mere 57,000 in June. This figure drastically missed market expectations, which had anticipated an addition of 113,000 jobs, and it marks a steep decline from the 172,000 positions created in the previous month. Despite the sharp cooling in overall job creation, the US unemployment rate unexpectedly ticked down to 4.2%, representing a slight improvement from the 4.3% recorded in May. Across the Atlantic, the European employment landscape continues to demonstrate remarkable steadfastness. According to data published by Eurostat, the Eurozone unemployment rate remained stable at 6.2% in May, holding firm at a record low for the currency bloc. This figure perfectly aligns with market projections and underscores the enduring tightness of the European job market, even as broader economic uncertainties linger across the continent.
From the 24th to the 29th of June, Porto's historic centre has been transformed into a city of books. The Babel Festival promised to be one of Europe's largest literary events, bringing to Portugal some of the most influential figures in contemporary national and international literature. The festival program featured 2 Nobel Prize in Literature laureates, Olga Tokarczuk and Laszlo Krasznahorkai, as well as other authors who have been honored with the prestigious Booker Prize, such as Margaret Atwood, Salman Rushdie and Julian Barnes. Admission was granted to the purchase of books at a network of approximately 50 participating bookstores and used bookshops. According to the organizers, this unique access model aimed to bring thousands of people to the city's bookstores and promote books and reading. It was also mandatory to carry a book in hand to gain access to any session. In addition to literary discussions, the program included exhibitions, film screenings, history classes, children's sessions, poetry readings in the streets and concerts. One of the most anticipated musical events took place in Avenida dos Aliados on the 25th, featuring a performance by Pedro Abrunhosa and GNR, who also presented new songs inspired by poetry from northern Portugal. The following day, Barbara Bandeira and Carminhos took the stage. The literary event took place in public spaces, reinforcing the connection between literature and the city.
Pop superstar Taylor Swift and NFL star Travis Kelce are expected to marry on Friday evening at New York's iconic Madison Square Garden, concluding months of intense media speculation. The highly anticipated private ceremony is scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. local time, with municipal records showing that the city approved a special event permit for a gathering of up to 999 people that could stretch until 4 a.m. the following morning. While the famous Manhattan Arena lacks traditional brighter aesthetics, organizers have taken extensive measures to transform the venue, utilizing its lack of windows, guarded entrances, and secure underground garages to establish total privacy. Security remains a paramount concern for the New York City Police Department, as a dedicated detail will be stationed at the fortified venue to manage the massive, high-profile crowd. Ahead of the private vows, the couple jointly donated $26 million to 20 local and national charities across the United States, targeting cities where they hold deep personal and professional ties. The massive celebration directly coincides with a heavily congested holiday weekend in the city, which already features extensive independence celebrations, a major regional heatwave, and an upcoming World Cup football match.